Hi everyone. Today we are going to learn to create a star square pattern using C++. It is the simplest method, but the great way to understand this pattern by nested loops. Nested loops is loops inside loops. Let's start by understanding what a square star pattern. Each rows and each columns has same number of stars and the number of stars is 5. You have 5 stars and you see that the 5 rows and 5 columns. It's look like a square star pattern. Okay. Let's understand the concepts of loops in the nested loops, and this is the whole nested loops and it's called outer loop. It represents the number of rows, and this called inner loop. It represents the number of columns. It's control or represents the number of columns. And let's understand the concept of this loop. Here I is equal to 0 and I less than 5 because n is equal to 5. 0 is less than 5, this is true, and the condition is true. It enters the compiler enters in the inner loop. Here int j is equal to 0 and 0 is less than 5. This condition is also true, and it enters in this line cout star with a space, and here compiler print a star with a space and this loop is running again and again. Is iteration. It's called iteration, and this iteration is running again and again. And here j is equal to 0. After this condition, the j becomes 1. Then I less than 5. 1 is less than 5. This is also true, and compiler runs this line again and a star, and after this j becomes 2, then j becomes 3, and j becomes 4. Here 1 2 3 4 5 and 5 star we serve with a space and after this j increment by 1 and j becomes 5, and 5 less than 5, this condition is false, and compiler come out from this inner loop and runs this line cout endl and give a, and we have a new line. And after this the compiler goes again on the outer loop, and before iteration I is equal to 0, and after this increment operator I becomes 1, and same iterations begin again and again, doing again and again with by compiler, and we have again 5 stars with a space. Here we see the 5 stars with a space, and after the next iteration I becomes 2, then I becomes 3, then I becomes 4, and you see that 0 1 2 3 4 5 times we have 5 stars in the rows and 5 stars in the columns. The compiler print it on the terminal. When you run it, and after this I become 5 and 5 is less than 5 is false, then this whole nested loops is end. 5 stars in columns and 5 stars in rows. Here 1 2 3 4 5 and 1 2 3 4 and 5. After this dry run, we are understanding this code on the VS Code. I opened my VS Code and create a file square star dot boilerplate in C++, include IOStream, then using namespace and std and create a main function int main and create a variable n int n and type a string. With the help of this string our code looks like better. Enter an integer and input an cin and type our standard nested loop for int I is equal to 0, then I less than equal to n, only less than, and I plus plus, this is increment operator. Then inner loop, we type our inner loop int j is equal to 0, then j less than n and j plus plus, and type for printing stars in a string with a space, and come out this loop and type for the next line endl. Okay, and let's run our code. Here is a run button. The compiler asking you enter an integer. Here we are entering 5 and enter. We saw that here are 5 videos related to code, and subscribe for more videos. Okay.